Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 corner after the Spanish Grand Prix, where Lewis Hamilton took a great victory in front of Max Verstappen thanks to an audacious strategy, and completing the podium is Valtteri Bottas, also for Mercedes. So not a lot of action in this race actually, but we were on the edge of our seat until almost the very end. And I have to give credit here to Mercedes, even though, and I will admit it, I'm not the biggest fan of Lewis Hamilton. They just did things perfectly and right in order to secure that victory. So let's go over the events once again of that Spanish Grand Prix. Start of the race, Verstappen is second behind Hamilton. First corner, Verstappen, quite aggressive, gives a little nudge to Lewis, and Verstappen takes the lead. From that point, he kept it until pretty much the end of the race, lap 60 or 62, something like that. I'm not exactly sure of the count, but here what matters is that Mercedes tried something different. So, on lap 23, Verstappen does his first pit stop, changes for the medium with the plan to go up until the end of the race. Mercedes follows up 6 laps later on lap 29, where Hamilton, by staying longer, actually lost time to Verstappen. So Hamilton coming back on track about 5 or 6 seconds behind Max, but on that medium the Mercedes looked quick, and really quick. We're talking second and a half per lap. So Hamilton catches up to Verstappen, but unable to pass him. Both their tires are kind of on the same life level, even though there was 5 to 6 laps difference. It is still not that significant at this stage of the race. But what surprised everyone is Hamilton coming back in the pit around lap 43 to fit another set of fresh medium tire. And remember, when Hamilton pitted the first time, he came out and was lapping about a second and a half faster than Verstappen. So comes out of the pit about 25 seconds behind Max, of course, but then bangs on the fast lap, and really quick. Again, we're talking about a second and a half, 2 seconds sometimes, and this is due, of course, to fresher tire and Verstappen being on 15 laps old tire, 20 laps old tire. So from that point, it was only a matter of time before Hamilton caught up to Max. But the question was, would he be able to overtake? This is Barcelona. It's a tough track to overtake, and when they caught up together, Hamilton just passed super easily, and this is of course due to the fact that Hamilton's tire had a lot more grip, a lot more life left, so he was able to stay close to Verstappen, and in the pit straight, just did an easy job of the Red Bull. So why didn't Red Bull replicate to Mercedes when they stopped the second time? I think they were confident that they could hold off Hamilton, or that he would not make up all that time in only 23 laps. But it seems like they were wrong. Maybe also the Red Bull's pace on the medium was not good enough, and there's also the fact that if they had come in, they would have been behind Valtteri Bottas, and even after catching up to him, of course he would have tried to hold up Red Bulls, and maybe even tried to go for the win by staying himself on the medium until the end of the race. And here, this is where we see the importance of having 2 cars for your strategy. There was 2 Mercedes in front, but Red Bull only had Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez got stuck in 6th place for quite a while, behind Daniel Ricciardo and was not able to help the team with the strategy. If Perez had been part of the equation, it is very likely that such an audacious move would not have been done by Mercedes, or at least would have been tough to pull out. So here, big credit to Mercedes. Strategy is something they've had really on the nose, perfect for the last few years. We saw it when they were in fight with Ferraris, and we are seeing it again this year, fighting with the Red Bulls. Mercedes strategists are among the best, if not the best, on the Formula One paddock. So good job, Lewis Hamilton, extending his lead on Max Verstappen with 94 points. This gives him about a 15-point lead, I believe. Max Verstappen taking the fastest lap. No, he's not. It's sorry, I don't remember. But there's a 15-point lead, that's what matters, and this means that, yeah, Red Bull needs to start putting up the victories again. Now, let's go back further down the grid. What happened in the back? Well, I mentioned it. Sergio Perez got stuck for a while, starting in 8th place, made it up to 6th after the start, but then stuck behind Ricciardo. In the end, he managed to pass and finishes 5th. Perez, qualifying yesterday, said he was feeling sick, so I'm not really sure where his pace lies. Could he have helped Max Verstappen if he had not been held? It's a tough question, but for the Mexican now, it's really time to take out the big guns. He needs to improve. This is a problem we've seen in the last few years at Red Bull, the second car trouble keeping up with Verstappen. But now is really the time where he needs to step up if they want to stay in the fight for a championship and be able to give a headache to Red Bull strategy-wise. 4th place, we had Charles Leclerc. Very good drive once again for the Monegasque. For quite a while, actually, he ran in 3rd place in front of Valtteri, especially at the start. Valtteri was impeded by Hamilton and Verstappen's battle in the first corner. So Leclerc ran 3rd, but yeah, was not able to keep that position, obviously, since the Mercedes were just too quick. Finishing 4th is probably the best they could hope, and it was a very great result for him. His teammate Carlos Sainz finishing 7th, also good, but starting from 5th, this is a little bit disappointing. Lost 2 places at the start. We expected Sergio Perez to come in front, but knowing that Ricciardo is 6th, this is a little blow to the championship points. Of course, Ferrari coming ahead of McLaren for this Grand Prix, but Sainz will not be the happiest man about his result, even though it is a big improvement compared to last year's Ferrari. I mentioned Ricciardo 6th, Norris 8th. Good job for Daniel Ricciardo. It is probably his best race with McLaren so far, finishing in 6th. That's a good raffle of points. Obviously, as I mentioned, not enough to beat Ferrari for this weekend. Lando Norris will be disappointed with this week. Qualifying 9th and finishing 8th. This is not where he wants to be. He was 3rd in the championship up until now falling to 4th, obviously, with Valtteri Bottas taking 3rd place. I guess it just shows that the 3rd place fight this year will be between the Ferraris and the McLaren. And you know, if Barcelona is a show of which teams stand where, well, it means that at the moment the Ferraris might actually be slightly ahead of the McLaren. It is something we'll have to follow up closely in the upcoming race. Now let's talk about Alpine. They had very good qualifying pace, both cars in the top 10, Esteban Ocon starting 5th, but during the race it seemed like they lost their pace completely. Ocon coming home in 9th place and Alonso in 17th place. This is not the result they were hoping for after their great weekend in Portugal last week. Now they need to regroup and see what happened there. There's no reason why their race pace could have been so awful from one week to the next, but I think this goes to show that they still have work to do on this car. It's still a work in progress. Still, they do bring back home some points, more than the Alpha Tauri and the Aston Martin, in which they are battling for the championship. So, let's see the bright side on that. Alonso, needs to work on himself still for this season. Mentioned the AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly, 10th place, also a bit of a disappointment, but he was starting outside the top 10, so the fact that he made it is already good. One little point for Gasly. Yuki Tsunoda, quickly at the start of the race on lap 8, his car just shut down out of nowhere and brought on a safety car. So Tsunoda, the only DNF of this race, and it is not something he could have controlled, we think. So just tough luck for the young Japanese driver. Aston Martin, close but no cigar. Stroll 11th, Vettel 13. They did their race. It looked like for a while Stroll could have been in contention for some points, but again, unable to really secure anything. And really, this Aston Martin car is not looking like is on a good show for this year. The new regulations are really impacting them. Vettel 13, this is not where he wants to be. They tried something different too with the 2 stops, but it did not pay off in the end. Alfa Romeo, good job for Kimi Raikkonen overall, finishing 12th. We know that car is not a top 10 car, but the fact that Kimi starting in 17th place, if I'm right, made it up to 12 is a pretty good result. If the front runners had had some bad luck, he would have scored points. Giovinazzi, his teammate, 15th, was a little bit unlucky. He pitted under the safety car, but issue with the tires they were fitting meant that he fell back a lot farther from the pack than he should have. And of course, under a safety car you have time to catch up because everybody is going slow. But when the safety car came in, he was still about 10 seconds behind everyone. So tough luck for Giovinazzi, but overall for Alfa Romeo it is a positive race. Who else do we have? The 2 Williams, also quite a positive show. Russell 14th and Latifi 16th. So George Russell at some point was even fighting with Fernando Alonso for 10th place, but we know this Williams car does not like the wind, does not like to ride behind other cars, as we saw in Portugal. So there's little that they could do there. Still, the fact that they finish 14, in front of the 2 Haas, obviously, but also in front of Alonso, who had an horrible race, is a little bit of positive to take out from Spain. And finally, the 2 Haas, Mick Schumacher still finishing in front of teammate Nikita Mazepin. Mazepin did an extra stop to try something different, but it seemed like it did not work well. Also got a little slap on the fingers for impeding Norris in quali, and also for maybe ignoring blue flags. There was no penalty, but it was pretty tight with Lewis Hamilton early in the race. So coming back from Spain, Lewis Hamilton still leads the championship, and so is Mercedes. In the constructors, Max Verstappen second, Bottas third, Red Bull second, McLaren third. And next race will be Monaco, where qualifying is everything, and also where downforce are everything. Red Bull usually performing very well at Monaco. It is a race that where they need to take victory if they want to launch back their strike against Mercedes for this season. And I will see you there. So thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any update regarding the 2021 Formula 1 season. And on that note, I will hope you enjoyed the Spanish Grand Prix and this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.